He lived alone on the 9th floor of a quiet apartment building. Nothing unusual ever happened there. Every night, the hallway lights turned off at exactly midnight. The security cameras worked perfectly. The building had only one entrance and one exit. One night, he returned home at 10:42 p.m. The camera clearly showed him entering the building. He walked into the elevator and pressed the button for the 9th floor. That was the last time anyone ever saw him. They even checked the rooftop and basement. There was no trace of him anywhere. The windows were locked from the inside. The ventilation shaft was too small for a person. The emergency stairs were never used that night. One strange detail caught their attention. At exactly 2:13 a.m., the hallway lights flickered for 3 seconds. But no one appeared on the camera. Neighbors reported hearing nothing unusual. No footsteps, no voices, and no doors opening. The entire floor remained silent all night. Investigators considered several theories. Some believed he secretly left, but the cameras showed no exit. Others suggested an abduction, but there were no signs of struggle. Years later, the case remains unsolved. So the question remains, how did a man disappear from a locked apartment without leaving any trace? Investigators continued to review the footage for weeks. They slowed down every frame of the recording. They checked every second of the hallway camera, but nothing unusual appeared. No shadow, no strange movement, no unidentified person. It was as if the night itself remained perfectly still. The more they investigated, the more confusing the case became. Another disturbing detail was discovered later. The apartment door showed no signs of being opened overnight. The lock history confirmed it was never unlocked. The windows remained sealed from the inside. Even the balcony door was still locked. This meant one thing. If he disappeared, it did not happen through any normal exit. And that realization deeply unsettled the investigators. Years passed, but the mystery was never solved. Some residents eventually moved out of the building. Many claimed the atmosphere felt strange at night. They described an unusual silence in the hallway. Occasionally, the lights would flicker for no reason, and sometimes the elevator would stop on the 9th floor, even when no one pressed the button. To this day, the apartment remains one of the most unsettling unsolved mysteries. The investigation team began to interview every resident in the building. Each neighbor was asked the same question. Did you see or hear anything unusual that night? Surprisingly, every answer was the same. Complete silence. No footsteps in the hallway. No elevator sounds. No doors opening or closing. It was as if the entire floor remained frozen in time. As days passed, the case became more disturbing. His workplace confirmed he never showed up again. His bank account was untouched. His phone never moved from the apartment. There were no travel records, no digital activity, no signs of preparation. It was not a planned disappearance. It was sudden and completely unexplained. Some investigators suggested a hidden exit theory. They carefully inspected the walls and floors. They even scanned the apartment structure. However, no hidden passages were found. The building's design showed no secret spaces. Everything was structurally normal. And yet, the disappearance still had no logical explanation. Months later, the apartment remained empty. New tenants refused to move into that unit. Some claimed the atmosphere felt heavy inside. Others reported strange feelings at night. Occasionally, faint sounds were heard in the hallway. but security footage always showed an empty corridor. Even now, the mystery remains unsolved. A man entered his apartment that night and was never seen again. Years later, independent investigators revisited the case. They analyzed every detail from the original report. The timeline was reconstructed minute by minute. He entered the building at 10:42 p.m. No one followed him. No one left after him. The cameras recorded everything clearly. Yet the disappearance still had no logical explanation. Some experts suggested a psychological theory. They believed something unusual might have happened inside the apartment. However, there was no evidence of a struggle, no damage to furniture, no signs of panic. Everything remained calm and undisturbed. This made the case even more unsettling for investigators. To this day, the apartment building still stands quietly. Most residents are unaware of what happened years ago, but some longtime tenants remember the incident clearly. They say the hallway feels strangely silent at night. Occasionally, the lights flicker for no visible reason, and sometimes the elevator stops at the 9th floor, even when no one presses the button. The mystery remains unsolved. A man walked into his apartment that night and vanished without leaving a single trace. Even today, the case remains one of the most puzzling mysteries. There were no witnesses, no evidence, no explanation, just a locked apartment and a man who vanished completely. Some mysteries are never solved, and this may be one of them.